Good morning. We are excited about our Palo Brunch today with a view of Cuba right out the window. It's pretty amazing.
You won't see much of it.
No, it just looks like water in the camera, but not water in the camera. I'm here at Palo in advance of my reservation tomorrow because I want to show them my handy dandy food restriction card so they can be prepared for us at brunch. It's so pretty. That went pretty well. They made all the notes in my in the system in our reservation. I didn't really give them like specific things off the menu we wanted to have adapted. I started to name a few things. They weren't taking things that specifically, so it's not like you're placing an order in advance the way you do down at the dining room for the coming day. They just noted it in the system, and for the most part it will be chef's choice, which I think will go well. There's still plenty of things on the menu, so we're very excited to give it a try tomorrow. Hi, Remy. We hope to give you some guidance today for specialty dining on your next Disney cruise, particularly if you have special dietary restrictions. As you head up to Deck 12, the adults-only restaurants are Remy and Palo, with Meridian Bar in between. These two restaurants are in high demand for reservations and require an additional fee. Our brunch was $45 per person plus gratuity and beverages, although one mimosa was included. Meridian Bar is a lovely lounge, so if you want to experience this fancy area and didn't manage to score a reservation at one of the restaurants, you can come here to have a drink and enjoy the ambiance. The decor is a bit more formal than elsewhere around the ships. But before we could head to our brunch reservation, we needed to feed the kids and drop them off at the Oceaneers Club. So we took them to breakfast at Royal Palace.
Asher, how's your pancake? Good.
Nora had stayed up late at the kids' club the night before and was feeling really tired. But not too tired to twirl with the princess. I just had to share this cuteness with you. Palo is an Italian-style restaurant with a charming ambiance, and they're known for their epic brunches. We've had Palo brunches before on a few different ships, but never gluten, dairy, and soy-free, so we're excited to see what today holds. Good morning. We are excited about our Palo brunch today. We already got started with some tomato basil soup that they said is vegan, so that should work well for us. And we're looking at the rest of the menu, trying to figure out what to get. I did stop by earlier and let them know about our limitations, but they have really said we should just order off the menu, and they will make any accommodations they need to and adapt. So here we go.
How many courses? What's your bet?
You want to do 4? Do you think we're doing 5?
Maybe five.
Five
Maybe
courses?
5.
They already said that they have gluten-free pancakes, but that they are made on the same griddle as the regular pancakes, so if cross-contamination is an issue, that we should avoid those. I think we might be okay with the shared griddle.
I think for that, a shared griddle
for us,
worry.
a shared griddle is okay. So let's see how it goes. Welcome to Palo. We're starting off with the tomato basil soup.
Don't trip.
Very fresh. It's very yummy.
It's great.
It's soup. There's a nice drizzle on top.
Olive oil.
Presumably olive oil.
There's a couple fresh tomatoes sprinkled in that have a nice pop to them.
And a basil leaf. It's an elevated version of tomato soup for sure.
I need a grilled cheese in my life to...
I know, right?
Not
Not
a
here.
gluten-free, dairy-free grilled cheese. It's not.
No, yeah.
Oh, at
Woody's Lunchbox was good.
I was not with you that day.
We also ordered a bottle of sparkling water.
From
they
Wales.
have a really extensive water list here. We were like, we should order a bunch of them and do a tasting of waters. But
We just got one.
we got one. This one is from Wales. And
It's actually really good.
It is really good water.
It's actually really good. I feel like it is different than others.
Yeah. It's not like, oh yeah, that could have just been rebottled San Pellegrino. Not that I don't dislike, I like San Pellegrino,
Yes.
but
and it's yummy. We had a little bit of discussion with our server, like, are they able to track down a vegan sausage to maybe do a flatbread?
Are we able to put apples on a waffle?
Are we able to get that salmon pasta without the cream sauce? Something just simple and neutral to let the salmon come through. We'll see how it all plays out.
Are we able to get the chicken parmesan?
Right.
I mean, obviously there's elements that we can't have of that, but the crust, like the breading,
like
is really the question.
A crusted chicken with a marinara sauce. It's a lot of marinara.
There's a lot of tomato, very tomato forward.
I mean, it is an Italian restaurant. Now, when we've done brunch here in the past, I don't think I leaned as heavily into the Italian elements.
True.
I mostly did like brunchy, eggy things. But right now, I'm dealing with an egg sensitivity, so I'm not ordering any of the omelets or frittatas.
Right. It also used to be a buffet, so there was a little bit of an element of like, I'm going to focus on, like, it was a very sweet, heavy buffet, I found, so I found myself
so
going
many
back
desserts
to sweets. This was before our eating restrictions. That buffet would have been inaccessible, basically,
right.
for us.
For us right now, that would have been really difficult to manage. So, the way it's going.
I just found a bonus tomato.
Bonus tomato! Lovely. We are very excited about this beautiful bread basket they just brought out. It has dairy-free, soy-free pesto on this flatbread, and it is beautiful.
And salt. There is an amazing salt sprinkle.
Like a nice hit of sea salt.
There's also smokiness to it. Getting smoke.
I think it's whatever they make the pizzas in. Is it a coal oven or a not real coal?
I mean, like, right.
But you get that effect, the smoky effect.
They get the coal from down.
I hear Steamboat
Yes.
Willie is shoveling. No, okay. But this is beautiful and warm and fresh. Almost, not 100%, like 90% of foods made gluten-free are fantastic and amazing as long as they're fresh out of the oven and still warm.
Correct.
Homemade, you kind of can't go wrong. It may not last 4 hours, but that initial taste is so good.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got lots of salt on that one.
Yeah.
I love salt so much. That is good.
Yeah, it's really good.
In addition to my eyes deciding to no longer work, we got a call from the kids club that Nora wants to be picked up. This morning she was just so tired and mopey. So I'm hoping that Nick can talk her into staying so we can finish up our brunch. But in the meantime, I'm going to eat my pancake and wait for him like one pig waits for another, as my daddy used to say. Because this is delicious, and I bet it wouldn't be as delicious if it wasn't still hot. I think it's the same chewy tapioca-y recipe that my kids had this morning in Royal Palace. But it has added cinnamon, and the apples have really elevated the flavor. It's a little bit too giant of a portion. A lot of times gluten-free pancakes aren't like fluffy, but that's okay. It's definitely a small enough portion that I'll be okay getting through a couple more courses yet. Okay, so I don't know if it's just placebo effect or if taking off that patch really did help me this instantaneously, but it's only been about 5 minutes and the blurry spots in my vision are already gone. It's taking a little bit of effort to focus, but not bad. So that's good because I thought my vision was going to be bad for a few days while I got it out of my system. But I'm doing much, much better. Maybe it was these magical apple pancakes. I guess it was bound to happen with 3 little ones being entertained at the kids club that somebody would decide they didn't want to stay. Nora had a very late night last night and still isn't feeling great this morning, so Nick went down to check on her and they said she should go nap. So now he's in the room. And thankfully the fantastic staff at Palo has offered to deliver his food down to his room so that he won't have to miss out on all the yummy stuff. I'm going to start out with this vegan sausage pizza on a gluten-free crust with vegan cheese that is impressively melty for vegan cheese, and no soy in that sausage. They've covered all their bases, and it looks really yummy. So I'll eat 1 or 2 pieces and then send the rest down to Nick.
How's the pizza, Remy? Yeah?
Thank you. Yep, the way vegan cheese sticks to your teeth, you know it's vegan cheese. But it's good. It's a very thin crust. Most gluten-free crusts are, but I love that char on the bottom. It gets a nice flavor. It definitely has the same flavor as the Beyond sausage, so I suspect that's what it is. They had to go to a different area of the ship to get it. They don't keep it stocked here at Palo, but they did go track it down for us, and I think it's the Beyond sausage sliced on top of the pizza. Yeah. They were a little bit stingy with the sauce. I tend to oversauce my pizzas. But there's so much flavor in that vegan sausage that it's perfectly fine without tons and tons of marinara.
Here's all of Nick's delicious food. His gluten-free chicken parm, gluten-free, dairy-free. His frittata, that's the zucchini frittata. His half of the pizza and some more of the flatbread. Yeah. I'm sorry, he's not here to eat it, but they are going to take it down to the room for him. So, I'm going to finish brunch on my own. This is a gluten-free pasta, and they said they did the smoked salmon. Oh, there's a piece. The smoked salmon in a marinara sauce. To me, it's a weird flavor combination. I like smoked salmon a lot. I like it in cream sauces and in a oil and garlic sauce. I don't know how I feel about it in a marinara. When I catch some of the basil chiffonade that's blended in there, it really elevates the flavor. Some of the pieces that the salmon doesn't come through on and the basil doesn't come through on are a little bit sweet and a little bit mushy. It's gluten-free pasta, so it's going to be a little bit mushy. But if you're not careful, you get a little bit of a Chef Boyardee effect. It's not bad. It's not my favorite. I'm just not very excited about mushy pasta and marinara sauce. It's fine. If I were on a desert island and this were the only food, I would not starve. How's that for a review? But yeah, I'm kind of getting SpaghettiO vibes. It's funny, I keep seeing big chunks of the smoked salmon, and so the texture kind of comes through, but the flavor doesn't come through. Instead of getting any real like smoky or fishy flavor, you just get extra salt in that bite. And I've told you I love salt, and that's one of the reasons I love smoked salmon. It's just really interesting that smoked salmon is basically just a vehicle to get more salt into the dish. The tomato and basil flavor in the soup was very fresh. It was very bright. I find that combination of tomato and basil to be a lot more elevated than the pasta version. It's still some of the same ingredients with tomato and basil, but this one just somehow seems less interesting and less elevated. I don't know that I would do this one again. But this grilled red snapper looks beautiful. It's got looks like a bunch of dill on top and olives. Maybe that's fennel. That might be what it is. I have to admit, I was very excited to have snapper because I've eaten salmon and more salmon on this trip. I feel like I'm about to turn into a salmon. But I'm going to mix it up a little bit with the red snapper.
fantastic. The fish itself is very firm and meaty. Takes a little bit of chew to eat it. The olives were kind of delicious underneath. That is excellent. Don't skip the red snapper. That's a highlight. So yum. Here's this beautiful little cylinder of potato. I couldn't quite figure out what it was. And my server let me know that was saffron potato. It is pretty and so bright. Look at this. Look at that. I'm also someone who likes fennel a little bit when it's nicely roasted, but I hate licorice flavors, and fennel overwhelms dishes sometimes very quickly. Not here. It's exactly the nice, warm, kind of a gentle fennel flavor that just makes me happy. I'm getting very full very fast. The first time I ate at Palo was on my first ever cruise back when Nick and I were dating. And that cruise was fraught for a lot of reasons. But on the last night, as we were going from Castaway Cay back to Port Canaveral, I was so motion sick. And we tried to eat dinner at Palo, and I couldn't even stand to stay in my seat. I finally gave up. I went back to the stateroom, and I took my tiramisu with me. And so now I know that even when things go wrong on your fanciest favorite meal of the whole cruise, they will do their best to help you get some of those experiences, even if it means taking your food down to your stateroom, which they have just done for Nick. I'm very grateful for the team here and all the effort they put into helping you have a lovely brunch, even when there are hiccups. Okay, just as I was wrapping up my... wobbly. Ship's rocking. Just as I was wrapping up my red snapper, one was too full to finish it, but two, got a message that Asher wanted to be picked up from the kids club. So now we had 2 kids ready to be watched. And so brunch was kind of officially over. I was a little bit disappointed because they didn't serve any dessert. They didn't offer any dessert. I knew nothing on the menu would work for our dietary restrictions, but because I went ahead of time yesterday, I assumed the chef would have prepared something chef's choice for us, and instead they were like, "You're done with the snapper? Okay, bye. Here's the check." So I was so used to Palo Brunches being so sweets heavy, and this time it was...
Did you get a waffle?
I got a pancake. They said they couldn't make the waffles because they were pre-made and not gluten-free. And the pancakes were kind of the same thing the kids had this morning at Royal Palace. So it was fine. But nothing... I mean, I get that even if it were the buffet setup that it was before shutdown, there are so many things we would not have been able to eat. I wouldn't have had, stacks of...
Cinnamon rolls.
I know, the cinnamon rolls are the main thing, really.
Cinnamon rolls and...
all kinds of...
cinnamon rolls. And...
tiramisu.
That's true.
All kinds of, fruit tarts and custards and things. Good stuff. But not to be. The staff at Palo sent down Nick's food very quickly. So how was your food?
It was delicious. I mean, it was really good. I mean, all savory. So I had the pizza, and also I don't know if it's just that they had a particularly good vegan cheese, or if I just wasn't.
Sorry, the ship is rocking so much.
I don't know if I just am not used to eating much vegan cheese, but the pizza was really good, and the chicken parmesan was really good. Well, there wasn't really a crumb on it. It was more like a grilled chicken, but the cheese on it, I was really surprised. I was like, oh, cheese, did they screw something up? But
I actually had to ask about the pizza because it made me nervous to see all that cheese on it. And she was like, no, that's vegan cheese.
Yeah, no, it was very melty, but not gummy, which sometimes vegan cheese can get.
When I got it, it was still very hot, and I said, oh, it's sticking to my teeth. It's vegan cheese. But yeah, once it cools off a little bit,
So
It was a good one.
yeah, I've walked away from the Palo Brunch on past sailings, being before dietary restrictions, being like, this is like the meal to get on the ship for, and it isn't so much now because of our restrictions, but that's fine. And
Well, and also because of the different setup, when it's not kind of buffet style for those appetizers and those sweets, you don't get to try a dozen different tiny things. You pick your like 2 or 3 options off the menu, and that's what you're eating. And I much prefer getting a bunch of little bites and different things to try. Because if something is less than successful, I'm looking at you, smoked salmon pasta.
tomato sauce.
Then Chef Boyardee, man. And so then that's what you got. And considering the extra time it takes to prepare something for our dietary restrictions, you don't want to go, that's not good. Make me something else now. You go from being the needy one to actually kind of being a jerk.
Yeah. The pizza, I thought the pizza was great.
The pizza was good. I think they should keep that vegan sausage handy going forward, because that should be an option for everyone and really easy to access.
The pizza was great. The flatbread bread basket was great. The chicken parm was great. My omelet was fine, though not terribly different than anything I would have gotten in the main dining room.
My pancake was fine, but the red snapper was really good.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry you didn't get to have it. I know you wanted half of it.
There will be more fish in our future, I'm sure of that.
I'm turning into a fish. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry you had to see that.
Sorry.
So that's our review of Palo for this sailing. It was a solid B. Yeah.
And our children.
It's always something. So I'm going to go take a nap. Sleep off this pasta. See you guys soon. Probably at dinner. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. We were really grateful for you guys spending some time with us and learning a bit about the Disney magic. No,
Dream.
the Disney dream. There's magic here. It's not the magic.
I just
So glad you stop. Oh
that
no.
you
Have all kinds of
wonder and
fantasy.
fantasy.
Okay.
Oh, you can wave and say
We'll
hi.
see you next time. We're playing Minecraft. Even on the seas. All right. Have a good day, guys.
Bye.